I did it. So,
how did you do that?
Okay, so it's called hosts and it's not guests. Well, this is great. We just learned how to. So I'll save this down on my feed. I think if I can I?
Yeah.
Can you save lives down?
I think it gives you an option to save them afterwards.
But will it tether to both of our feeds or just mine?
Don't think so. I actually have no idea. Usually when I'm doing it on my own, you can like clip stuff out.
I don't really care where it lives, but if you want it to live on yours, let's go back on yours. And I mean, because it's really bridal makeup stuff, so I think for those watching, maybe it should be on yours, so that then people that's following your journey can find you. Okay, so then press hosts at the bottom right on yours, and then I'll join that.
I think I'm co-hosting it anyway.
Yeah, but then will you get to keep it as a live on yours though? That's what I'm trying to make sure that you can still do.
You can send it to me once you've saved it, to be fair.
And then you repost it back up.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether that's going to work from a large file perspective. Well, maybe. I mean, somebody on my team will have to do that because I'm crap with sending big files. I'm like...
transfer up.
Okay, great. So, how can I help?
Well, I mean, how can't you help? I mean, I don't know why. I mean... I have a lot of questions. I feel like I have a lot of questions about undertones, and I have a lot of questions about fine lines and stuff like that. I mean, if anyone else has got any questions in the comments, please put them through. I think undertones is the thing that's most confusing to me.
Okay. You know, it's funny because it's also the most confusing to me. I think that, you know, undertones is a topic that I think is tricky because I think it matters quite a lot when you're a makeup artist and you're working with people with more melanated complexions, and there's you know, discoloration to cover up, or, you know, evening out of skin tones before even thinking about putting on complexion. In my world, in my brain, that's kind of where I think of undertones. I don't overthink undertones. For example, when I was in London a couple of weeks ago, I did a little meet up with a bunch of KJH Academy community people. And we went to Glossier and I helped people pick foundations. And this girl who I know, she's come to loads of events that I've hosted. She's like, I'm really red all the time. And Glossier, for example, their foundation range is really easy to decipher because it's like everything's in categories of light, very light, medium, medium deep, tan, deep dark, whatever. Within every foundation shade range, there's an undertone and it's listed. So it says if you're in that light range, you've got light 1, and on the gondola it says light 1. Oh god. If it says light 1, that will say pink. If light 2, that will say peach. Light 3, that will say olive, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm explaining this in the long-winded way is that she was very red in her complexion. So I think most people would be like, oh, I'm red in my undertone, so therefore I need to probably go pink with my undertone in my foundation. Yeah. Or, you know, whatever. But actually, no, I gave her an olive foundation from the Glossier range and it completely maxed out her redness. Leveled out her redness.
So like green on red?
Yeah, exactly. You're putting an olive undertone foundation on a red tone's face and it's balancing it out. And I say this to basically say, don't overthink it. Just be like, okay, well, a little bit of color theory is relevant. And like a technically orange, I don't look at your face, right? And say you're neutral or you're olive or you're or you're, you know, yellow. I just see, okay, you've got a tiny bit of taupe natural tone around your eyes. Do I want to use that to my advantage as a makeup artist, or do I want to cover it up? And then I would be like, okay, well, this is how I would cover that up. So like, I don't, you know, at the end of the day, like I know that it's a huge nuanced topic, and I weirdly hate talking about undertones. I'm not mad that you brought it up. It's just one of those things that every brand's undertone gauge is almost like every brand's denim. Yeah. Every brand's denim, like I'm a size 2 in Gap. I'm not a friggin' size 2 anywhere. Like, you know, like when I went to Gap once, I was like, I'm a size 2 at Gap. How is that possible? Like denim and undertones are, for makeup and clothes, are sort of, you know, they fluctuate.
They're always different from brand to brand. I do feel that, because like if I have like a neutral, I actually swatched one of the Dior foundations yesterday, and it's meant to be neutral, and it was so like yellow on me. I was like, okay. Exactly. And somebody just said, so matching the foundation to your face. I think matching the foundation to your face is key. I think. Oh, not your neck.
I think matching to your neck is also important, but it should sort of do both, right? Like
Yes,
your
yes.
neck is going to be a different color to your face. Your face is just going to be more tan than your neck because your neck is going to hit the sun less than up here. So, I mean, anyway, I think we can talk and be makeuping at the same time.
Yes, sorry. Yes,
no, don't say sorry. I'm just a good multitasker. I can talk and answer questions at the same time. All right.
Okay. Do you do eyes or face first?
So, I don't know. I mean, you tell me, like, is there any skincare steps in your journey that have been giving you, like, you know, that have been setting you up for failure, or that you feel like you still need to refine? Like, where is your skincare at? Do you know what you're going to do?
I feel like I've got my skincare down.
Okay.
I feel just because I feel like I know a lot about skincare. Like I used to have acne and I got obsessed with skincare because from that. So I feel like I know what I want to do. I feel like I need like a little slight exfoliating toner on the day. I'll show you what I use. Oh wait, where's it gone?
On the day or on the night before?
Day of. Oh my God, night before.
I would.
Okay.
I wouldn't do anything on the day of that could aggravate your skin. Like
I would use this on the day. This is from Sculpted by Amy. It's brightening essence.
Right. And just that.
Just that on its own. No moisturizer. I couldn't.
I mean, no. I'm not saying just that. I'm asking you just that.
Oh no, definitely. I would use possibly this cloud cream or the Tatcha dewy cream.
Okay. Are you dry or oily?
Dry, I would say.
Fine. So then, for anybody watching, that was a milky kind of toning product, right? Or is it a watery kind of toner?
Yeah, milky kind of toner.
Milky toner, and then a kind of fluffy cream that's got a radiance to it. Kiri is dry, works for her. If you're oily, you could probably go in with just the toning product. And obviously it's up to you guys on weddings about whether you want to do your SPF or not. Are you doing your SPF on your day of your wedding?
No. Okay. Just because I know flashback.
I'm never gonna shame you for that. I think if you're ever gonna like have a day off of your SPF, the wedding day is fine. So
I would never not wear an SPF normally.
Another good thing I think for people who don't want to overcommit, because you know, skincare can sometimes be something that makes your makeup slip and slide around. So I think if you are worried, you know, definitely erring on the side of less is always what I would suggest. It's kind of like when I do somebody's makeup for a red carpet, if I don't know how sweaty they're going to get, or if I don't know what the lights are going to be like, and I don't know maybe how hot it's going to be outside, or if it's going to start getting humid, I'd rather do less skincare than more. All right, so I'm going to do, just for the sake of it, a little bit of road glazing milk.
Okay. I've actually got that. I actually used that this morning.
And a little tip is just to pop it into the palms of your hands and actually go to the edges of the head where you want the gleam to be first. Like, don't go to the T-zone first. Because most people do get a bit shiny in the T-zone more than anywhere else, quicker. I mean, we're all different, but
yes.
Where the pores are more visible is where the shine happens. So I think going to those areas first where the pores are not more big or more visible with the product, and then what's left on your hands, you can just press into those areas and just really sort of press it in and pat it in, almost like you're priming it in. And then
where I have a lot of issues is my under eyes, because like your skin looks amazing. I love your under eyes. Your under eyes are, the color and tone of your under eyes is amazing. Thank you. It's nice reddish kind of I've never slept kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
It's a makeup artist stream, I tell you.
But they're quite creasy, and I'm not bothered about them being creasy because it's really natural. But I think I don't know like what kind of level of skincare I need to be putting on.
I would put on minimal. With your eye cream, I would sort of just go for, I don't know, like I'm just going to use like a lightweight gel, or you can just use a little bit of the toner that you're using if it's hydrating enough. And I would just literally do like a tiny bit on your fingers, and then just obviously just orbital bone right there, and let it sort of drink up towards the lash line. And and then just tap away any excess. You just don't want, in my opinion, you don't want anything super, super thick or super, super greasy. But then it depends what foundation you're going to use.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I know what foundation I'm going to use, and it's this Satin Silk by Sculpted by Amy.
Right. I think the makeup look that you posted the other day was so good.
Thank you. Really hard for that one.
No, you did a good job. I am a bit scouse, yes, I'm from Merseyside. Okay, so then you've got your skin prep down, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about your eye cream and your eye prep? Like, in just using a tiny bit of something?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually like dabbling with maybe not even using any eye cream and just putting some moisturizer under there, because I thought in my head that would plump it.
Yeah, I think trial it and see what happens, but also like there's different variables that will come into play. Like, you know, hormones can fluctuate how our skin is reacting to things, and the weather a little bit. Like, so I wouldn't overthink it. At the end of the day, like, less is more. You can always add more. Like, if or, you know, and if something creases, you can quickly just erase it with your fingertips.
What, even with powder on top? That scares me.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do loads on it. Well, okay, let's do makeup and get there. So
you're gonna like me very much when we get to the powder part.
I'm excited. So are you doing underpainting or are you doing foundation first everywhere?
Usually I do eyes first, but today I want to try foundation first.
Okay.
Or should I do eyes first? I don't really know what to put on my eyes to start with because I've got an eyeshadow base that I think works really, really well, and I don't set it or anything.
Okay, well, which one is it? Like, I don't want to do anything here that's going to completely confuse you and set you back to square one. I don't want it. Like, I think you've come a really long way on your own, and I don't want to go, well, this is what I would do, and it be different to you, and it confuse you. So I feel like I kind of want to do what you're doing. I want to follow your routine, and I want to be like, oh, but maybe if you do it this way, you'll get an even better effect. Do you get me?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's more conducive to helping you in your current, you know, because at the end of the day, like, I'll be the first person to say, like, I share so many tips and tricks online about things, but if you've got your way down that works, don't bloody change it just because somebody else says this way is better.
That's true.
Better if you...
Whenever I have like comments and stuff, I try and just see what like the most common answers, what everyone's saying, not take everyone's like comments as Bible.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do your routine as you've been doing it.
I use this P. Louise base on my eyes first, and I carve out my brows.
Okay.
Although I've been told that it looks like scar tissue when I carve out my brows usually.
Okay, so then here, I'm going to do the same steps as you, but I'm going to do them how I would do them, and you can watch me do the same step to get me. I'm going to like do your step how I would without you visually showing me first.
Yes.
So you carve out your brows with a cream base. I'm going to use concealer because I don't have eyeshadow bases.
Do you not think they work?
I do not think they work. I just don't like an eyeshadow base for me because I feel like they're too heavy.
Yeah, I get that.
But for a wedding day, it's great. What kind of brush are you using to apply that product?
Usually I go for...
Is this fun, you guys? Is this interesting? Let me see. Is it flat? Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would use that, and then you can do the same thing and follow along with me, and then you can be like, well, I actually really like it my way. I've got this brush, which is just a lab sample brush, similar shape, I assume. Yeah, kind of.
I can make this one really flat because it's old, and also I forgot to clean it, so it's got stuff in it and it's a bit bright.
So then I've got this Mario concealer. I'm priming it into the brush, of course, and I'm going to do you go to the brow first? Or do you go to the lid first?
Whatever I'm feeling like on the day.
But you do put that product right under your brow.
Yeah, I put it right under it like that.
All right, so I would go, this is what I would be doing if I was you and I was like replicating what you're doing on yourself. I would sort of start in there. I would maybe go to the tail, and I wouldn't do a full line all the way underneath, just to give yourself a little bit of a more natural effect out of the thing, and separating it. And so this being primed into the brush is, of course, applying a bit less than what it would otherwise.
Yes.
And just tapping it on, and then using it to sort of bring it down into the lid. And then I'll do a little bit in there to brighten in there.
Yeah, I think I mainly use it to brighten because I think, and just like make the tone a bit more like neutral across the whole of my face.
Yeah, cute.
Or a little bit like, oh, sorry. Okay, I've primed mine.
Great.
I usually go in a straight line.
So you can go in a straight line. By doing this, though, and pulling down, you're just getting a little bit more of a natural, because you're not doing this. If you do this, you're going to get a very, like, I just had my brows done by someone, which is fine if that's what you want, of course. But by doing this, you're getting an uneven straight line, which is going to look a bit more natural if that's so far what you want. So try it that way and see if you feel like you like that way more.
Okay, I've definitely been putting too much of this on.
Yeah, just really getting it into the brush is key. And that's also going to be a more full coverage product than this thing that I'm using. Weird bump under my eyebrow. But like just sort of getting it on in a way that's not super, super straight line will give you just a bit more of a natural look. You can use your fingertip to tap it out. And then the same under the tail. But I encourage you just to skip that middle bit if you feel like you can. just like do the tail and the inner corner. And with what's left on the brush, if you have any blue above the brow, I just evened out a vein. So, but yeah, I mean, putting concealer around the brows definitely does look snatched. I mean, I think, I think that look is really fab. I think it's just, sometimes it can go a bit far. It's like there's a fine line between the right amount and too much of this kind of technique.
Yes, I love it.
Out. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Is that eyebrow? So Carrie is using an eyeshadow base, the P. Louise. I'm using just straight up concealer. Honestly, like the P. Louise has probably got more of like a hairspray effect on the face based on what I know of the brand. I feel like it's like got that like staying power. Concealer won't have as much staying power, but I also don't have eye cream on, and I'm going to put powder over it before I consider putting eyeshadow. So, yeah, that's just like a quick prime. Does that feel different to how you usually do it?
Yeah, but in a good way, because I don't like when it's really, really thick on my eye, and I always do it really, really thick on my eye.
So if that was a concealer, what I would be doing with that now is using what's left in this brush to start shaping up my mouth.
Okay.
Like this. So I'm like shaping up the lip with the help of the concealer. But obviously I don't know what that product feels like, so I don't necessarily say do this, but this is just a nice way to start framing up the lip if you so want a bit more of a snatched mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm essentially just using what's left in this brush. And then I could also, because this is a concealer, I can also take this, a little bit in there if I want to. But again, yeah, just like popping that out. So then what's your next step technically?
Eyeshadow. I don't set.
What's your eyeshadow? Is it neutrals, taupes, mushroomy colors?
I personally believe they are neutrals. However, I think I could be wrong. I use this bronzer here, which feels quite neutral to me. However, that might be warm.
Yeah, I mean, what looks warm in the pan and what transfers on the skin are sometimes two different things.
Yeah, I know this one is a warm toned one, and this one next to it feels more neutral.
Yeah, totally. Okay, great. I've got my bronzer. What are we doing?
I just like to kind of go halfway along here and then a little bit up into my crease to kind of like define that a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
What
kind of brush are you using? Like a flat, fluffy guy? Great. Okay, so you're going here.
Yeah, like halfway, and then just like following my crease, because I feel like my crease is quite like, not crease. Yeah, it's crease.
You've got a nice defined eyelid.
Like that, yeah.
Cute.
But then I always end up going too hard with this kind of makeup, and I kind of like the softer look on me.
So then, let's see.
So I just like doing that, and then I'll like move on to the next eyeshadow.
Do you feel like you want more definition than this, but you don't want more intensity?
Yeah.
So then take the very tip of that brush and a tiny, tiny bit of the bronzer. Don't use the side, use the tip because the tip is smaller. And this is going to be something you'll either love or you'll hate, but I want you to go right under that brow right there with a little bit of what's on that brush and just start to shape in there first. Yeah. Bring it a little onto the nose and then into the brow. Like that. Cute. Take a look.
Ooh, I like it.
That gives you this like soft, subtle smoke, but doesn't add any more to this. And it's actually connecting this to this, which makes it feel more cohesive.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're using the Sculpted by Amy palette, right?
Yes.
I'm using the Vive bronzing duo in light 1, light 2. So this is sort of one of my favorite techniques to do with anything taupey or mushroomy, is just to sort of do a little outer smoke here and then disconnect it and bring it into there. And so you can go
completely.
What do you say?
So leaving that like middle bit completely.
Oh, I mean, it just gives you a bit more of an open sort of placement for something bright, or you can also, you know what I mean? You can also go back into it later. And then I also like to take what's on the brush and just gently pull it a little bit out toward the hair. Just for a little tiny lift.
Lost one a minute.
Is that a speaker? No, that's not oh, is it not here? Oh, great. All right, I'm going to do the same on the other side. Questions, anyone? Subtle but big difference. Love that. And also, like, with anything makeup-wise, you can always add more product. So for those you know, panicking. Just start with less. It's easier to add more than it is to panic take some of it off.
I've also learnt that the hard way. I've lost the brush that I'm about to use next. I need to find that because it's the only one.
Look for something else and then it'll show itself. But like even here, like I've just done my one side with this technique. That side I think looks so much more.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Something weird and stark about this side without that bronzer in under the brow. It's kind of a contouring technique, really. It's just a contour that people typically don't do because maybe they've not been shown, or maybe they think it's going to look heavy, but I love doing that sort of shadow. Do you ever do under the lash line with the bronzer?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do it. I just feel like it looks a little bit more... because I feel like when I don't do that, my eyes are really open and it kind of like just finishes off the look a lot better.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you doing lower lash mascara?
Yeah, I always do lower lash mascara.
Yeah, me too.
Once
Okay. Questions, anyone? Love that technique. Katie, I've seen you do makeup before, as you know, but everything... Aw, thanks, Kate. It looks finished with the brow, with the bronze brow. Yeah, the bronzy brow sort of just does something. It's almost like an underpainting thing. And actually, not on a wedding day, but like in just random Tuesday, I'll sort of just use a little bit of what's on my brush to also shape up the mouth. This isn't necessarily a wedding tip, so Kiri, don't do this. This is just for off days. Okay, and also like you can use, because that's a bronzer, what's on that brush, if you did want to like do a little bit on the nose, you can. If you do want to do, you know, I don't know, you can be really refined about it. We're going to put foundation up there, so let's not get carried away. Okay, you have to rein me in sometimes. I get a little carried away. What's
next? I use a like warmer shade, so I'm using this one here from like a Love Story palette, and I'm using this
same brush or smaller brush. Is that the one with the spatula on the end?
Yeah, I'm not using a spatula yet. I don't really know what I'm using it for.
I don't have mine. That's weird. I have to use a different one. I'm just going to use this. Oh wait, there it is.
I found that I was using really thick brushes and it just wasn't working for me. But this is the one that I'll like kind of just be more precise with it, and I'll go like across that bit there in like a V almost.
Yeah. Okay. So then you're basically going in here and then up into the crease.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cute. So for anybody watching, if you've got hooded eyes, I mean, Siri, I feel like he's got this down. But like for anybody with hooded eyes, just don't do your makeup like this and then do that, because once you open your eye and look straight into the mirror, some of it might have disappeared, or it might be heavier than what you think. So keep your eye open and do it with your eye open, looking into a mirror, so that you can see actually what it's going to be like heaviness wise and placement wise. And then you can stretch the lid to get it blended. So that's my advice for that, but perfect. You really suit warm tones on your eyes because you've got light eyes. Light eyes look incredible in like oranges and rusts and like these sort of really warm kind of rusty tones.
I do like those ones.
Okay, popping that on, close to the left line. Do you find yourself using much smaller brushes for most things than big brushes?
Now I do, because everyone was telling me that my brushes were too big, and I was like, that's fair. So now I use a lot smaller brushes for like most things. I think my biggest brush is my foundation brush.
Okay. So then when you're doing this step with that smaller brush with that darker color, I'm sure you already know this, but you can go back to your big brush that has the bronzer in it to sort of diffuse and blend. And like, you know, if you feel like some of it's a little bit heavy, you can just, you know, and just be really, really delicate with your pressure. Like if your skin moves, you might be pressing too hard. I don't think your skin is moving, but I'm saying like, if your skin is like doing a lot of that, which you're younger than me, so your skin probably isn't. But if your skin is moving a lot when you're doing your makeup, you're possibly taking it off as you're putting it on, or you're creating creases and lines in the details.
I have been told I'm quite heavy-handed, and I think I can feel that when I'm putting on my foundation.
You know, a trick that I figured out is holding the brush low down gives you an actual bit of a lighter, more sort of free blend. You don't seem to have as much control, which is a negative in some way, you know, but it also makes you hold the brush lighter, which therefore makes your pressure less.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense, yeah.
Okay. All right, what's your next step? Under the lash line?
I do under the lash line like my last step,
Right.
the whole thing.
Right.
I like to put my concealer right to the top, but I don't know if that's right.
So I encourage you not to do that because that is probably going to give you creasing. And I encourage you to use what you've got under your lower lash line.
Okay.
So let's do it this way. Okay. Take the bronzer shade that you just did with the original brush.
Original?
This one. Yep. And then just do your lower lash line detail under there and use the sort of pointy part of the brush. It's going to feel quite chunky because it's a big brush. And then do that all the way in. And we are actually darkening what you already have here, but this is okay because we're going to brighten it after with concealer. Then, when you're ready, move on to the smaller brush or even like a pencil brush, something a little bit dense like this. That's great. You could actually take the same bronzer, just to show you technique here. Same bronzer, smaller, denser bristled brush is actually going to apply the color more concentrated. So you actually don't need to go darker with this. You could just use the bronzer shade if you want to. But if you are going darker as per your routine, then you can take that darker shade. Okay.
Yeah.
I am just going to take my slightly darker shadow just to show technique. And I'm just going to go right in that outer corner on both sides. Get it into the brush on the lid. Do it all the way in if I want to, just a little bit. And then if you want to do that, I'll let you catch up because now we're going to do concealer under your eyes.
Now, before foundation?
Yeah. Because I want to show you how to make the most of the technique that I just showed you.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, grab your concealer brush.
Oh, I don't know where that. Hello. Okay, misplaced the concealer brush, but I've got. Oh no, this is it. Sorry.
Great. Okay, so get it onto the back of your hand. Let me find a brush similar to yours. I've got this. So I've got my little number 10 Spectrum. Which one's that? That's the like angled one, isn't it?
28.
Okay, so then
29.
It doesn't really matter which one I use, to be fair. Okay, so prime it into the brush generously. Vigorously. Okay. And then I want you to not go to the lash. Don't want you to go to the makeup first. I want you to go right here. Yep. And then do the same on the other side. And then I want you to just tap all the way around like that. And then do the same and just, you're just continuing to blend. And then go down into the nostril. Side of the nostrils. And just get rid of extra product effectively. That's what I'm doing because there's a lot of product on the brush probably. Or a decent amount. Okay.
How many swipes did you do?
I did one swipe of concealer. But if you need more concealer, do it again. This is good again. Like I'm always going to tell you it's better to keep adding more than it is to take some away.
This is a problem. I always add more and then it looks worse. So I don't. To me, this hasn't made a difference. But
so then do another pass and get some more concealer. Let me see that brush. Show me the brush like this. Yo, you need more product in the brush, 100%.
I just cleaned them for you.
I love it. Okay, that's better. So, I mean, do you see what's happening?
Yeah. Oh, it definitely looks a lot fresher.
Like what's happening is you've done your eyeshadow, you've used your natural colors to get yourself halfway there. Yeah. You're now just using that concealer as a border and a clean up. So once that concealer brush is primed out and there's hardly anything left in the brush, what you're going to do is go kind of quite close to the eyeshadow and almost into it. Why the hell is my white balance being a little bitch? Okay, what in the world? Do I look insanely overexposed?
A little bit. I won't lie.
What's happening? Technology. Okay, well. Oh, cool. Great. Okay, maybe I'm. What the? I honestly, something's going on with my TikTok this week. Like my white balance is a mess. Okay, well, this is. Oh my god, I'm so mad. Stop. Okay. I think we're not back.
Right. Wait. If you go back a bit, maybe that would work.
How annoying.
Oh no, that didn't work, sorry.
Oh, this is lovely.
You get a new phone?
No, I'm very confused. I need to change my top. Maybe that's the problem. My white balance just decided to have a freak out on me.
Hello, everyone. Me and you lot.
I don't know which ones I've got used to travel yet.
And if you're asking these questions, I'm going to assume you're asking Katie.
Are you leaving now? Got it? Yes, okay, see you in a bit. Bye, baby. Drive safe. All right. Hopefully. Fuck. This is so annoying. Okay, maybe I'm okay. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine.
It might be the light behind you.
I mean, but it hasn't. Why would it just do it all of a sudden? Oh, maybe the street light. Okay, so then this brush is going to be the thing that you use to clean up any bits that you don't really like. You would never do this with a loaded concealer brush because you will wreck everything you just did. You're using this to sort of, you know, refine. It's like a retoucher. Yeah. Do you see the benefit of that or not really?
I think so. I don't know if I've done a lot down here.
Pinch your screen so we can see a bit more closer. Or go closer to the screen. No, I think it looks beautiful. I mean, do you want more coverage under your eyes?
I don't know if I need it.
No, I don't think you do, but it's more just I think it's just a technique that I wanted to show you just so that you've got an alternative on putting concealer all the way up to the lash line. Because putting concealer all the way up to the lash line is going to give you more opportunities for crease.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think it's the biggest problem I have because whenever I put loads of concealer, I actually put 2 concealers on usually.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Like that's the problem that I have.
I mean, I think this looks really good. How do you feel with this at this current moment? Like, do you feel...
I feel like this looks okay, don't you?
So then what would be your next step?
I put on a little like brightening one eyeshadow there.
Okay. Like a creamy beige bone or like an actual cream colour?
Like a shimmer.
Great. I will use a shimmer too. What do I have? I have something from Japan. Okay. Do you use your finger or a brush?
Brush.
Great.
My fingers are a bit too they're a bit too big for my eye.
You like the precision of a brush. Is this the same brush that you use to do the P. Louise stuff?
No. This is a different brush.
Here, or are you going more inside?
I go from like there.
Cute.
And I kind of try and follow my crease and go a little bit above.
Cute.
To open my eyes a little bit.
Nice. I feel like I'm getting the makeup lesson. I like it. Wait, when's the big day?
It's the 17th of July.
Oh, wow, soon.
Yeah, it is really soon.
Exciting.
Yes, it has to happen really fast, as they usually do.
I mean, me and Tarek got married after 8 months. We were engaged at 8 months and married at 11 months, and we've been together for 17 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean...
Very, very, very fast.
Yeah, that is. I mean, me and Kieran have been together for like 10 years, so it's come round fast.
So the cool thing about you, the fact that you've got your concealer on now, is this is a point in which I like to sort of refine and like add a bit more shadow if I want to. So I'm just going in with a little bit more darkness under my eye for a little bit more drama, but you don't need to do that if you're level. Okay, what's your next step, babes?
I do a little bit of a darker shadow on my outer corner here.
Okay, with like an angled brush?
Yes, this angled brush here.
Great.
Very precise.
Yeah, we love a precise little brush. People always DM me and they're like, I love the way you say the word brush really funny. I'm like, do I? I'm like, how do I? So are you doing like a little wing or are you just doing like a little shaded moment?
I don't even think I can call that a wing.
I mean, it is.
But I try not to do too much of a wing because that's when it starts looking really heavy for me. And that's, I think, when I start not feeling that bridal.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably go and smoke it out a little bit with...
And it's just a powder, right?
Yeah, it's just an eyeshadow.
Great. Have you done like sauna tests with this makeup?
No.
You should go sit in like a steamy bathroom.
Oh, really?
What happens? Just under extreme steam. Not that you're going to be like, you know, in a steam room on the day of your wedding, but it's just good to know what it's going to do, how it's going to hold up on humidity in case it's a humidity kind of day.
I can imagine if it's like 30 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but.
So a little bit about angled brushes for everyone. If you're using an angled brush and your brush is facing that way when you're doing a wing, when you're doing any kind of shadow on the outer corner of the eye, your brush is naturally going to pull it out into a wing. But if you're doing what Curie just did and doing it with the brush, the highest point of the brush facing towards your ear, you can't really go that way. It's like the brush has to be facing out and then you draw the direction of the brush. Like you can't, it's not as ergonomic or organic of a sensation. But actually, I really like the way you just did that. It kind of taught me something by putting the brush facing outwards, the point outwards, and then working your way back in. It's actually a really, really good way of doing a little bit of a baby wing.
Thank you.
So thank you for that little mini lesson. And then taking your little brush again, or your little blendy brush, and just softening that.
Yeah.
Do you curl your lashes?
Do I have any lashes?
You curl your lashes?
No.
Okay. I do. But I was going to say, if you do curl your lashes, you should always do it at the beginning of the makeup, which is something that I forgot to do. Because sometimes your lash curler will pinch off some of the makeup at the root of the eyelash. What kind of mascara are you going to wear on your wedding day?
Brown.
Waterproof or no?
I really should, but I feel with brown, when it's waterproof, it's they don't like stay as long, like they don't stay up as long. So I'm happy to just like look like you know, just have mascara running down my face. But I'm just I'll just get cotton buds and go like that, I think.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Or if your eyes start to water, the trick that I do for models, and if someone's in my chair, I'm always like, if I like accidentally poke them in the eye or something like that and their eyes are about to start streaming, I go throw your head back and take a deep breath through your nose. It somehow like stops your eyes from streaming down your face. You do this, you go. You'll be there on your wedding day and they all twitching.
I will be walking down the aisle.
Okay, what's next?
Base.
Great, let's do it. When do you do your bronzer or your cream bronzer or your contours?
After my base, after my foundation.
Are you using?
I tried underpainting and it just looked like it didn't look like defined at all. It just looked like I just ended up looking like orange.
Okay, so I feel like you've got your base routine down.
Thank you.
Do we want
to struggle with though?
Do you want me to show you underpainting and give you critique on underpainting, or do you want to stick with your way?
I would love to know more about underpainting because I think that it would help me a lot with the blending situation.
Right. What have you got?
What have I got? I've got. What are you looking for? Are you looking for something like matte?
Cream.
I've got this
cream
one.
Or cream bronzer.
I've got Chocolate Mousse by Too Faced. I've got Makeup by Mario.
Okay.
Or
I've got that.
This Fenty one.
Let's use this.
Okay.
So do you have this brush?
No.
You got anything similar?
Oh, wait. Which one is it?
Yeah, that one's good.
That's
fine. Yeah. Let me use my version of that then. If I've got it here, I think I do. Here it is. Okay, so I want you to take this, swirl it into the pan. And then, that's good. And then just tap off some excess just to see that your brush isn't overloaded.
Oh,
Go back to your hand. And then I'm actually going to have you go to the forehead first. Really light, like my bristles are barely touching the head. Oh, that's a warmer colour than mine. What colour is that?
What have you got?
Light.
I've got light medium.
Oh, it's a nice shade. Okay, so do a decent amount of the forehead. Bring it quite wide, not so precise. Right, just move the brush to somewhere else to get some product off and then go back to blend that original area. That's a lot of product on your brush. Maybe you need to prime it more into the brush. This is good. This shows I love it when things like this happen. Great. So then here, wait, with what's on that brush, just for the shits and giggles, go across the tip of the nose. A little bit under the jaw here. Snatch the jaw. Now go back to the forehead because you'll have gotten rid of a lot of that product without wasting it. Yeah. I'm going to boost mine so that I have a similar amount to yours. Okay. And then really get it into the like hairline. Yeah. And then start bringing it down here because you're going to brighten this anyway. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then go here across the bridge of the nose with some, just to give yourself a little bit of color. And then actually, why not just go like here as well? Yep. Cute.
I think I'm pressing too hard.
Yeah, don't panic blend. Don't panic blend. Just keep adding and just keep gently moving it around. Okay. I'm just gradually picking up more as I go. You're using brushes for your foundation, not Beauty Blender, right?
Yes, now I do, after watching your videos.
Were you using a Beauty Blender before?
See?
I mean, I actually wet a Beauty Blender today because I was like, might be a nice day to use a Beauty Blender, but I won't. Okay. How are you feeling about this?
I feel okay. I like the bronzer. I like the way it's looking.
Great. So now, with what's left on this brush, let's just see if we can get a little, and I want you to go from the top of the ear, and that's your guide, down to here. So you're going to go to the top of the ear, and you're not going to come any further in than like the middle of your eye. So you're going to kind of just do like a little, and sometimes I think it's really good to like point your mouth forward so that you can see where your cheekbone is. Yeah. And that gives you a guide. And you want to go just a little tiny bit under it effectively. Okay. And that was just using what's left on the brush, right? You haven't picked up any more just yet.
Nothing.
Yeah. And do you feel like it's still transferring product onto the face?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Look at that.
For those priming the brush people that think it's wasteful, shut your face. It's not.
It bloody works.
Bloody works, love, and it don't bloody waste product. All right, so now, if you feel like you want a little bit more coverage with bronzer, you can pick up some more.
Yeah.
But like, underpainting can happen with bronzers. It can happen with cream contour, cream bronzer, cream blush. It can happen with anything. I think not to confuse things, I'll just contour with a cream bronzer because at the end of the day, like, it's kind of the same thing. And I think it's better to contour with a cream bronzer and look a bit too warm than a bit grey. Like, I think looking grey is worse than looking a bit warm. So
I agree.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you a trick though. This isn't something you might not do on your wedding day. Do you have this brush?
No, I can't say that I do.
Have anything like this?
I'll show you some brushes.
Okay, that one. No. Other way. That one.
Oh, we did it from left or right?
To my right. The green one, yeah, that. So grab that. Take a tiny bit of your cream bronzer. This is a different brush. And just go a little under there. Right.
I need to palm this a bit or just have the product in it.
Go for it. Let's see what happens. Stop. Take a look. What do you think about that?
Oh, that looks nice.
So do the same on the
That
top.
looks nice.
Don't go back to the pan, but use the same on the top, just right above the Cupid's bow. Again, this isn't, are they almost done? No, if you don't like it, come back later, it'll be saved. All right, so then you can do a little bit on the top like that. Cute. And then what's left on that brush, you can just do a little shading with here if you want to. You know, just like a little. You can even do it in here. Okay. So that's just a little hack that, like, I would set that with powder if you were going to actually do that on your wedding day, just to give it more longevity. So then what would be your next step? All right, I'm going to do, have you got a cream blush?
Yeah. What kind of shade?
Which one? All right, whatever shade you would wear. What type of, is it cream liquid formula or like, what's the formula?
Liquid.
Like a Huda Beauty liquid? Oh, okay, great. Great. So I'm going to use Huda Beauty version because I don't have to say, unless I'm blind and I can't see it. No, I can't see it. So I'm going to use the Huda Beauty version, which is similar in intensity or in texture. Kind of color are you using? Peachy? Pinky?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it doesn't really have to be the same color, but anyway. All right. So again, same. Getting it into the back of my hand. Priming it into a brush. So show me what brush options you've got.
How are you thinking? Am I going too big?
No, actually use that Spectrum one, the clean one. That one's decent for this. So I'm going to use this, which is another similar, it's kind of the same. That one, yeah. So you're going to pack it into the flat part of that brush where it's like really pad, where there's like a pore. Yeah. And what's your placement? Are you going like up here or are you going down here?
Prefer up here.
Great. So then just slowly start to stipple the product on. And if you've got a lot on, like I just did, that just transferred too quick for me. So now I'm going to hop over to this side and get rid of some of the product on this side. And I'm going to dance back and forth. That was just more of a application sort of trick on how to disperse product around so you're not wasting it. Just keep tapping it back and forth. Little on the nose is always cute. Just has a youthful kind of look to it. Whoa, my blush is hyper-pigmented. Don't know why I'm shocked, it's for the beauty. Okay, so then I'm just going to start. I'm going to take it a little outside of the bounds, like I'm going to take it a little bit into the hair, just here. And then just a little bit under the eye is quite nice. We're going to brighten that again slightly. Just what's left on the brush, just here. Okay. And then what you're doing is you're priming the brush onto the face at the same time as using the product. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you feel like you want more than that, or is that your level?
More!
So then take it again now, do another quick pass of picking up some and just go concentrated in the middle of the original placement. Don't go as wide. Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, that made a difference in it.
Now you'll get this like concentrated pop of blush. And like I always encourage like looking at yourself how you pose for a photograph, because like this is part of the reason why you're doing this, right? Is for your gorgeous photographs. Like having, you know, a moment where you like do your faces and you sort of are just like, what's your camera face? It's just a nice way to see or the shadows. Because like, you know, for example, somebody will say, I've got dark circles. I'm like, put your chin up. And I'm like, oh, where did they go? They've gone because perspective. Oh, I've got big fucking massive bags under my eyes when my chin is down because that's just an anatomy of my face. If I walk around like that, I'm going to look like I've not slept for 6 weeks. Instead, I walk up with my chin held high because I don't want to look like I've got bags. All right. Great. So we're going to do foundation now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do... What have I got? That's my color at the moment. Oh, I'm struggling with foundations.
Do we need a thick girl or...
I think use what you've been practicing with for longevity and for the coverage that you like for the day.
Nice.
Which I think is that Amy one. Okay, so I'm gonna use Vive's because it's maybe similar. I don't know. Actually, probably isn't similar at all. So I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna grab my foundation brush, which is this one. Great. Oh, you've been using that? Okay. So, do you have anything smaller?
That?
Do the bristles really bend? No, maybe do this. So we're going to do this one. I'll do it with you. Prime it into the brush. Stipple, 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 stipple. So now, because there's product fresh in this brush, we don't want to go anywhere where we've just done a lot of detail work first, effectively. Oh, I kind of want to do something kind of crazy. What's the biggest brush that you've got? Have you got anything along this size?
I've got this. Oh, I've got this?
No. I kind of want you to use that one for this, to be honest. I know it's got a little bit of pink in it right now.
This one?
No, the Spectrum one that you just used for your blush, I think.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. What did you just use that for? You didn't just use that right now, right?
No.
Okay, so then have you got a towel on your table?
No, I've got a towel in front of me though.
Buff whatever's in that, just to make sure there's no pure pink pigment in it. And
I didn't wash this, it's just stained.
Oh, great. Okay, so we're going to use that instead. Sorry to make you waste foundation. So, living up to my name as the foundation waster. So we're going to prime this brush now, back and forth and around and stipple, whatever. The reason why I want you to use this is because This brush is amazing if you were doing your original routine without underpainting, but this is bigger. And so now it's going to be harder with this brush to not go over all of the work that you just did. So we're going to start here, and we're going to start just kind of at the chin and just see how much product is in the brush. Okay, so then prime it again.
I got a lot.
All right, you're probably good now. So now try again. Okay, so now I want you to turn your head a little bit to the side, and I want you to do a little stroke underneath. Yeah. Now, wait, stop. Go to the other side. Do the same because there's too much product in the brush. So we're going to just use that product, what's in the brush, and go across the other side. Okay, now we're going to stipple right into the nose here. We're just distributing product right now. Stipple into the nose, a little bit in the middle of the forehead. Okay, so this is you distributing product, not wasting product. Now we're going to just go around the mouth. So does this product feel like does this brush feel like it's like primed to perfection and now you can start blending? Stipple on the back of your hand and see if loads and loads of product is coming off.
No.
Great. So now we're going to start to skim in all of those areas that you just did into the blush.
Are we tapping or stroking?
We're just doing like a little tap stroke. It's like a little, yeah. Then you're going to do under the cheek where you did your little bit of contour. And then the forehead. And then you can do over the nose to just tone down that nose blush if you feel like you so need a bit of that. And then, do you ever put concealer on the mouth before you do makeup? Okay, great. So then you're just now refining things. You're just like, I want a little bit more here. Where's my this? A little bit more there. Like if you've got any little hyperpigmentation marks and things like that. Now, the only thing that would be a different level of education for this would be like, a few, marks of hyperpigmentation where you've had breakouts. Yeah. That would be something like in those areas, I probably would be like, do I want to underpaint today or do I want to do my base first and then go in with underpainting after the fact? But I'm going to maybe show you. Are you confused? I don't want you to be confused.
No.
Okay, great. How do you feel about this? Like, do you feel like it's... Do you feel like it's heavy? I mean, I'm going to be frank. I think what you do on yourself looks better than this.
Thank you.
Because you know your own face.
I like the feel of it. It feels a lot less thick. And also it looks more nicely blended than when I do it. When I do it, I really struggle with making sure it looks like seamless. It looks like too strong. Neapolitan ice cream, if you will. So
yeah. I think though your foundation routine right now is suiting you and your routine better than what this did.
Oh, okay.
Being frank, I think that I wanted to see what this was going to do for you, to see if it gave you that lighter look. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
No, I get it. Like, yeah, I get what you mean.
But I also think it's a case of like we have slightly different products too, and like the brushes are a bit different.
My foundation. The foundation is like a thick girl.
It's a thick, heavy girl.
Yeah.
So then, okay, let me figure it. Katie, you have more blush towards the center a bit to correct what? Yeah, we're going to go back in with more blush with you. Oh, I mean, I think where we were before foundation, what I would have done, where I would have gone backwards would have been to just conceal where you need it.
Oh, okay.
Because I think now with the underpainting, I see why you don't like underpainting, because underpainting with this foundation isn't as nice as a sheerer foundation.
Yes, I think I know what you mean.
So what we're going to do is you're going to just take this brush. This is the solve to like at least make this have an education moment with this. Take this into your towel. I need to get the towel real quick.
I'm actually using a towel that Kieran has just washed, so hopefully he's not watching this.
Okay, so take your towel and then buff into your towel just to erase any extra bits, and it also just gives the brush a nice fluff. And then just slowly start to blend any edges that are like a little still inconsistent, because you're now just blending with the friction of the brush, and just make sure it's soft. Yeah, great.
Oh, I'm going to do further down.
Yeah, great. That looks better already. And actually, I kind of want you to just go into that area there where you've got that little bit of hyperpigmentation. Even though it's going over the bronzer, Yeah, there's still product in that brush. I can see it covering it. That actually looks really nice. Do that. Yep. Great.
I think that's a part though, even when I do my normal routine, I always have like a part there. And I think it must be the hyperpigmentation, but I always have a part there where it always looks darker and it always looks really unblended.
Darker how? Like from the bronzer or from the foundation?
From bronzer.
If you underpaint, or even with over the top?
Anything.
Are you, when you're doing foundation first and then bronzer, are you doing cream bronzer over cream foundation?
Yeah.
Have you ever done cream foundation, setting powder, powder bronzer?
No.
So let's do that right now. So this is going to feel a little heavier, but you said that I was going to be mad at you with powder anyway. So let's get into the powders. Hold on a second. Before you want to get into powders, do you want any more coverage anywhere?
No, I really like the coverage actually.
I want a bit more coverage in a few places. So just for the sake of get your powder ready and your brush ready, and then we'll catch up together. For the sake of me feeling like I'm not bridal perfect enough, I'm just putting a little bit of concealer in a brush. And I'm just going to go into a few areas where I want a little bit more coverage because the foundation that I used, Vive, was not coverage enough. So now I'm going in with my Mario concealer, which is more coverage, and a small brush, and just really refining and placing more coverage where I want it. To create a little bit more flawlessness. What's
your favorite concealer?
Mario, the Mario one is probably one of my favorites at the moment. I keep going back to it. Surreal Skin.
Is there a specific reason, or is it just because you just
love how like it's got coverage, but it's not thick and cakey?
Yes,
good. It's just a damn good concealer, you know.
Yeah, right. I'm in the market for a concealer. I love the House Lab so much, but I think it's a bit too thick for me.
Thick in coverage, or thick in
consistency?
Oh, I thought it was quite watery. That's crazy. Oh.
Or maybe I've got the wrong one.
No, but maybe it's got like this like texture to it that's like kind of like pigment suspended in like a serum texture, almost like maybe it's dried up a little bit.
Oh.
All right, so are you ready for powder?
Yes.
What have you got?
What have I got? I've got this, my Charlotte Tilbury one. This is a medium. No, this is what powder. She gave me.
That's me. Setting powder. That's too dark for you.
Setting?
No. Have you got pressed powder, setting powder, like a powder to set your makeup?
Apologies. Yes.
Great.
Charlotte Tilbury.
Great. Okay. Oh look, snap. So take any kind of brush that's small.
Small. How small are we talking?
Like maybe one of your Spectrum green ones is fine. I mean, you're probably not going to go back to that, so feel free to use this.
This one.
Yeah. So take a bit of powder. And first, I kind of want you just to go over the mouth. Okay. Now, I want you to go right into there where you might have some shine. Just stipple and press right into the nose. There. And good technique, just tapping and pressing. Just get any areas that you want more matte. Okay, and then the chin for me. My white balance is driving me mad. I look like I'm like a Tin Man. All right, so when you're done doing the majority of the areas, I'm going to get you to take a decent amount of product on the brush and just go all up in here. Quite wide and big. Don't rub, only tap. We did do concealer already, and we did foundation. Same on both sides. Okay. And then maybe do up here as well, just to like neutralize that and make it not so
I see what you mean.
Rich. Because powder for a wedding day is kind of really important. Like it can look powdery right away, but also, you know, like you've been keeping your makeup on throughout the days. I'm sure that you've been doing these on yourself, and you know that the moisture will just start coming back into the skin. Or you can obviously mist with some sort of setting spray that's milky in some sense. So I have got this bronzing powder, which I'll use.
Would you say I need a dark one, or because I've got this? That one's probably my favourite bronzer, that powder bronzer, because it's just more neutral for me. I feel like when I go really warm, it looks quite orange.
Let's do that one then. So same brush. The reason why I'm going to say same brush is because this brush now has in it a bit of the setting powder, and the setting powder is going to cut a little bit of the bronzer in half.
Yes.
But you only want a little bit.
Okay, a little bit.
And my area of like test is my nose, because the nose is an easy area to fix. So I just want to see how much is in the brush. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm ready to go to the cheekbone, and I'm going to just go here and just sort of stipple across the top of the cheek, work my way down into a contour like that. So I'm doing like a little, I don't want to go here first, but I want to go here first and then bring it down into here. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Don't go so under the eye, go more on the cheek itself, like up here. Like your space is like this, not like this. Yeah, you're going to go like there. And even, I wouldn't do too much of that anymore because you've got some on already, but like you can just start to stipple it down into this. And then look ahead straight on so that you've got even light distribution on your face. Nice.
Yeah.
And then the same on the other side, effectively. And then you just tweak it depending on how much you want. But did that solve the like patchy problem?
Yeah, I think it did.
Or are you talking about that tiny little
Oh no, I've got like a bit of hyperpigmentation there.
No, you've got a nice shadow right here, which is your cheekbone. Like you've got a nice little dent right there, which is your cheekbone, which is a good sort of gauge guiding point. And now if you do want to do it where you're like looking straight on into the mirror, just to give you an opportunity, like hopefully my light is even on my face. I don't even want to look at the side. I just want to skim the bristles across the side of my face in those areas that I just showed you. Just because then you can see where the shadow is developing. Like just to give you an extreme, I don't want you to repeat this, but just to give you an extreme, like just to sort of show you like what technique I'm achieving. Is if I do it straight on, I can see the shadows develop more. Now you see more of a lift on this side of my face. And then when I turn my head to the side, might be a bit heavier, which is fine. I can take this, buff it into my towel, which is essential. And I can always use my setting powder again to just pull it back a little bit. And again, like my sort of biggest rule of thumb with anything is gradually add product and keep every single step after the previous step lighter than the step before. So like, for example, your foundation, you might be a bit more like that. Then your setting powder needs to be a bit more like that. Then your bronzer needs to be like that. Like your brush should get lighter with every step because then you're gradually placing more and more layers of things on top of other things. And what it's doing is it's getting, it can disturb other things from underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like that.
Yeah, that looks beautiful. And actually, another trick, take this and take a brush that's not hopefully got bronzer in it anymore, something else, if you've got one. Great. Take some of your setting powder, quite a lot of it, and then draw a powdery line underneath where we did with the foundation when we first did it. This is easier achieved with a loose powder, but it's fine with this pressed as well. I'll do it on this side because I've got my bronzer on this side. It's going to be more obvious. And just letting that kind of marinate for a minute will give you a little bit of a more higher contrast of that bronze under the cheekbone if you so want it to have.
Yeah.
Straight on. Come close to the mirror for a sec. I want to see something. Do this. Do that. I think you could go a little bit harder with your bronzer, a little tiny bit.
Ooh.
Also, wait, before you move on, take a brush that has powder in it. Just blend under your jaw because we didn't blend under the jaw. I'm a bad teacher. Just blend that. Just blend that out and down. Okay. We are going to do more blush. Yes, we're going to do bronzer first, though. Have you got a powder blush?
Yeah, this one's my favourite.
Okay, great. So wait, let me look at you for a second. I think before we do more bronzer, we should start adding the blush, because I think before you start to be like, this is where I want to add. So grab your blush brush. That's your blush brush. I love it. It's so little and dinky. Let me find my teeny tiny blush brush. I guess I'll use this one. It's not that much bigger. All right, I'm going to use this Say one. These Say ones are so nice. Have you tried these?
That looks really nice. Should I need a shimmery one?
I mean, I think it would be beautiful to have a shimmery one if you've got one.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Is everybody finding this interesting or fun, or is it boring?
Oh, my God.
Is it boring or fun?
I have this one from Rare Beauty.
Oh, yeah, great. Oh, wow.
It broke. It broke quite quickly after I bought it. It was devastating.
That's the quite reddish one, eh?
This is Hope, yeah.
Do I have Hope? I do have Hope. I'll use Hope too. Okay. All right. Oh, snapsies. What is...
What did just happen?
I mean, I haven't opened it for a while because I didn't take it with me on the road.
God, maybe it's me.
Maybe you jinxed me, babes. Let's see. Okay. It's fine. She's usable. All right. Little brush. So I think this is a formula that does need to be primed into your hand because a lot of it transfers. So I would just use a heel at your palm. Get that excess. It is a beautiful blush, though. I think you should totally wear this on this cheek. So then wherever your placement is, go for it. I encourage you to try something.
Yes.
When the light is on your face with this type of blush, all as you can see is shine. When the light is not on your face, you can see the depth that is underneath the shine. So just do this to see the shine. I kind of went a little heavy on there. But do this to see the shine, and then do this to see where the depth is. It's so funny. Why is mine so much more vivid than yours?
My face is looking dry as fook. That's why.
Is it?
I think so. I've got another...
But maybe you just need more on the brush.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much left of it because...
That's true. If it's broken.
Yeah.
Then go back and use your. It doesn't matter what you use. Use your Amy palette.
I got this one. I might try this one. Romand.
Oh yeah.
It's quite pale, but I feel like it's a nice colour.
Great. Do it. Not quite a big brush actually. It looked really small before, but now it's decent size. I think it's similar to my number 8. Say blushes do not emphasize texture, in my opinion, though.
That's something I think that people have said on my posts, is that some of the blushes I use emphasize texture. So
you don't really have textured skin. Like, I mean, I get it with people with like acne marks and acne scarring and stuff, but you don't really have that.
No, I do have a bit of acne scarring around these parts over here, but not so much on my cheeks. And we're not taking this up. How far up are we?
Take it where you want to take it. Really, it's you should be. I mean, I would say like having it a little bit like it depends. It depends where you want it to be. Like I think blush. Everybody's blush style is so different. Mine's very like across the bridge of the nose, up into the cheek here. Like it's very like I've been sitting in the sun. But if you want more of like a elegant up here blush, then go up there. Like blush placement is super personal. It's like mascara choice, really. But then what's great is your concealer brush that you use for your concealer around your eyes or your concealer for your foundation is a great little tool to sort of refine the blush and sort of just rein it back in. And again, there's so little in the brush that it won't actually interfere. I'm using a blush that is from Say Beauty and it's called Mia Super Suede. It's kind of a pearly blush. No, we used Rare Beauty Hope, but then we skipped to something else.
Yeah, I've been trying a couple. I've got, at the minute, this is the one I'm using, by the Sculpted by Amy.
So interesting getting a smaller fan brush now. I'm launching this one. It'll be on KJH brand website in like a month. For concealer, it's amazing actually. It's amazing for concealer for the like here and like up in there. How did you do the setting powder? We just kind of stippled and pressed setting powder everywhere, like kind of like that. Katie, will this show up in photographs? It surely should. So let's move on to lip and then come back to refine anything else. So what's your lip of choice?
I like a little bit of Cool Spice by MAC.
All right, the new one?
Yeah, I think so.
That's my version of Cool Spice. All right. So are you using it fresh or are you using it dull?
What do you mean?
So like you've got a dull pencil. Are you sharpening it every time you use it or are you using it?
I like a little bit of a sharpen, yeah. Sorry, I've just lost it. What the hell? Oh, Cool Spice. Yeah, so I sharpened it yesterday, so I'll probably use that.
So go for it. I want to see what you're doing to your mouth. You're doing a good job. Yeah. So you know we've got 2 lip lines, right?
Yeah, or everyone.
Yeah. Look in the mirror, right in the phone. So your natural lip colour is pink. Your over lip line, second lip line, is kind of a white halo. It's very prominent on you down here.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah.
So, and I can see your top lip one right where you are right now. Your top lip one is kind of over. You don't have to do this. This is literally just like, in my opinion, there's 2 ways to fill in the lip. There's to fill in the colour and there's to fill in the volume. I think it's always nice to fill in the volume. I've definitely gone over mine. So let me do mine a little bit more realistic. Okay. So my volume is, my lip colour would stop about there, but my volume would go a little bit more.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So it's almost like a ridge. It's like a ridge. And sometimes it's kind of like colorless. Sometimes it's volume. There you go. And one thing that I would say always be aware of when it's the vermilion border, maybe, yeah. We're both using Cool Spice. One thing that I would be aware of with lining lips is not to do too much width here. Because if you do too much width here, then your lip does that. And I think what we all probably kind of are achieving or trying to achieve with lip liner is just a poutier look. Going too wide here gives you a bit of a trout pout. I haven't said that word for years. Like a bit of, it's a bit injectable looking. But just keeping it really close to the lip here and then using the volume just here. Yeah. How do you line if you have a sharp Cupid's bow? I mean, you just want a sharp pencil. Yeah. You want a sharp pencil, or you can use concealer. So for the bottom lip, let's see.
Oh.
For the bottom lip, just do a little scribble right underneath. And then just do a little up and down so you can see what it's doing to your mouth. Nice. There she goes. And you can use a little blend. Because you can line that with this pencil is actually an amazing lip liner because you can do one layer like this, right? Mm-hmm. You can blend it out. And then you can go back in to further define to get that like really gorgeous kind of like Nina Park kind of lip. How Nina Park does a lot of her clients, the makeup artist who does like that really effortless kind of like whispery makeup. Yeah. By blending that first layer, you get this hazy kind of diffusion of the 2. Do you see? Mm. And it's actually going to last longer because you're like getting it on in thin layers. Same here. Are
you overlining the bottom lip all the way?
No. Just there. Which you won't see unless you do that. Like,
you don't know the faces are pulled.
Like, you sort of overline it, draw it on. Again, this might not be something you like. You know, like, I'm not offended if you're like, I wouldn't do that, it doesn't suit me, or I don't like the way that looks. And then I just connect the dots. And then that way you have this like really romantic looking full pout that doesn't look like you've really overdrawn. But I do want you to do a little bit more on the top. I want you to just take this, just for shits and giggles. Yeah, go a little higher. Hold the pencil on its side like this, like really close to the lip, and then push it like that. It should feel quite unnatural and weird. Do it again. Do the same on the other side. Like it should feel like you're going outside the lines. Now look in the mirror, straight ahead. And then just give it a little buff. Okay. Is that a nice cream van?
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a nostalgic noise. That actually looks really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna push you out of your comfort zone here because I just want to see what it looks like on you, and then I want you to live with it for a bit and be like, actually, I do quite like that. So do more.
What? How far over are we going right now?
Just do like a little. What I want is your top lip to look a little bit more full than the bottom. And don't try not to pinch your lips together like that because you're not going to do it if you're not going to get there if you do that. Just keep your lip like. Do like a soft little pout. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just like. Now check it out. Now give it a tiny buff just to soften any hard lines. And then what's your lip colour of choice other than this?
No thanks, it's MAC.
Grab it. What's the shade? No thanks. No thanks, it's MAC.
Oh no, it's thanks, it's MAC. Not no thanks, it's MAC. Just thanks, it's MAC.
I don't know that one, love.
This one here.
Ooh, is it pearly?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to buy that. Is it shimmer? Is it got shimmer to it?
Yeah.
Ooh,
kind of.
Gorgeous. All right, so then I'm going to use something that I'm working on that has a shimmer to it. Ooh. Okay. So then your lip colour, I'm not going to go over your lip liner completely. Slow down. Like go like more inside like that and let the lip liner be separate and you're connecting the two. You start like in the lip where it opens, like here. This is probably creamier. Is it, what formula is that? What's it say on the bottom?
Lustre Glass.
Okay, so that's going to be creamier than your lip liner. So if you put that over your lip liner all the way to the edge, it's actually going to lessen the longevity of your MAC Spice. You can put it right over the top, but also you get like a nice transition of color if you do like a, the lip liner was MAC Cool Spice. And I'm using a KJH brand sample that I'm coming out either in September or January next year. And then you're using MAC, what's it called again?
Thanks, it's MAC.
Oh. And then just do this. Just do this on the top lip. See the way I'm trying to get her to push it more outside the lines, you guys? And then I'm going to say, let's go back in with this now. Re-add the definition.
No. Where did I put that?
You can go higher, but only if she wants. Like it's not a need, it's a want.
Oh.
Where have you gone, Cool Spice? Have you watched that new TV show, The City Is Ours?
No.
It's on BBC. It's about a bunch of Scousers that are dealers. And it's really interesting. It's got Sean Bean in it and a bunch of other cool Scousers.
Sean Bean?
He's not Scouse. Sean Bean. Wait, did you say Sean Bean? That's hilarious.
Yes.
Very funny. Katie from Southport. She is from Southport. Have you lost it?
Yes. I've got Dervish though. Where the hell has that fucking gone?
Wait, what's Dervish? I know that shade.
It's like pink.
It's fine. You don't need it. You don't need it. We don't need to do lip liner again. But if you do, like, for example, when you put your lipstick on and it goes over your lip liner, if your lip liner is a little bit darker, it's nice to just go back in and give it a little bit more.
Okay. Well, if it shows up, which it probably might.
I'm sure it will. So, finishing and setting powders are two different products. They are, but are they? Or is it just marketing and trying to sell more stuff? Because that's what I think it is. All right, great. So then go back in. And this is not that pencil. This it is. This is greyish. Oops. Greyish is very, very green. I bought myself greyish and I was like, holy crap, it's like literally a green pencil. So just giving yourself that definition again. Do you like the way that looks? That little bit more fuller top lip? Or do you feel like it's not you?
I feel like I need to get used to it.
Yeah, we'll just wear it throughout the day.
Yeah.
All right, how are we feeling?
I like it.
Do a little, let's see how blended we are. Do you feel blended with your bronzer?
Mm.
Do you feel blended with your bronzer?
Oh, I feel blended. I just wonder if you think we need more bronzer.
I think we could do a little bit more because, to be honest, I'm going to say something controversial here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you either used, well, I don't think that you are I don't think you need this heavy of a coverage of complexion product.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like you could go with something lighter everywhere, like a skin tint, and then concealer where you need it.
Ooh. Okay.
Or you could try, because I know you're going to be trying and still storying this. I'm going to challenge you with a few things to try. Cutting this foundation with moisturizer if you haven't already.
Mm.
Have you tried that?
No. I have heard actually that mixing this foundation with the Hydra Tint from Switch Bane is really nice. So
yeah, mix that with that. Do that as your first base. Bring in concealer where you need more coverage. And then powder and do your bronzers after the fact. So I think you should try that next time as an underpainting, but instead of underpainting. But I think, like, at the end of the day, what works for you, my advice is only relevant if it looks good and if you feel like you can do it and if you feel like you like it. You've fully, I think, nailed your makeup already. You're just having fun trying all of the options, I think. And I think that's a good thing because you're only going to get better as you play, right? And if you're not playing with makeup and doing makeup, you don't. Why is there like a weird hiss? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. There's like a fan. I don't know, whatever. Can you speak?
I don't know if it's me.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever. So then let's do a tiny bit more bronzer just to get you where you want to go. You need a big brush now. Biggest brush you've got.
Biggest brush is possibly this one.
Great. I'm using that.
Wow. That was, yeah.
There's already some in there, so I'm just going to use what's on the brush for now.
Do you think I may need more of like a warm one?
Yeah, maybe. Let's try that big Charlotte Tilbury one. Let's see what it looks like. What is that sound? Oh, it went away.
I muted you.
You muted me?
Yeah.
You can't hear me now?
No, I did mute you and then the sound went away.
You're like, are you lip breathing? All right, so grab your brush. Get it into the bronzer just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. What shade is that? Medium.
Medium, yeah.
And then...
I think actually gave me medium. I thought I would be light, but do you know what? I didn't.
And then prime it into the hand. And then slap it on the middle of the forehead. Great. It's actually fine. Okay. So then I want you to do the same here and here. Just warm up that, like, general whole area because you're just a little bit bright. Great. Great. That's better.
Yeah.
Great. So now, if you want better longevity out of certain areas of the face, here's a little hack. You're going to take any sort of small little detailing brush. It could be the eyeshadow brush that you used for your P. Louise stuff.
Yes.
And your setting powder from Charlotte Tilbury, number 1.
Yes.
Redwood Irish. And then you're going to grab a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And then you can use this to sort of shape the lip. This gives longevity and more structure. Make sure you're not going into the lip colour itself. Just make sure you're really on the border. Do the top corner and the bottom corners. Like that. So now you just have a little bit more of a like pout, a bit more of a pop in the pout. And then you can do the same under the eye, just here, to get a little bit more lift in the outer corner of the eye. Yeah. Same on this side. Yeah, and then you could also do the same just there if you want a little bit more bright. And actually what you could do is grab one of your eyeshadow palettes that've got like a really creamy bone in there, like brighter than that powder. Right, I'm using this one, and I'm going to go for this.
That one?
Sure. Is it shimmery though?
Yes. Hold on.
It definitely needs to be like a matte bone, but this is a good opportunity to use like a matte bony kind of shadow that you could use to just literally use as like a physical white highlight. Sure. Do that. Yeah, let's see what happens. Be fun. This is what this is all about. And just do, wait, watch me. Just in that little area right there. Just a tiny bit of a bright powder. Yep, stop, check it out.
I like that.
And then you could also do the same thing right here. That's the same, but wait. Don't do the brush flat. Do the brush on its side. Oh, but you're not using that flat brush, are you? You're using the fluffy brush. Take your P. Louise brush. P. Louise brush. And use the side of the brush. Because look, you've got two densities. You've got two widths here. You've got flat and you've got narrow. Take the narrow side and just go right in above the lash, just to brighten with that white powder. More forward. Closer in towards the inner corner. Like here. Yeah. And then you can tap excess away if you want to. So that gives you, again, it's another opportunity to like, this is just hack-based stuff, really. Like, it's an opportunity to just sort of add little pops of light into places. So for anybody watching, it doesn't really matter what the product is. It's just using a white or a cream bone powder that's complementary to your complexion. You're using it as a physical white highlighter. And you can also do the same thing, like, you know, on certain areas where you want to add a little bit more light on the face. It could be the cheekbone. It could be anywhere, really. Like, I'm just using a white powder. Just here. But I always encourage, like, and then actually we could also do it just here under the brow if you want a little bit more of a lift in the brow.
I think so.
Just when you're doing the brow, though, always look ahead, because look, I just made my eyebrow look really shit on that side. But I've also got a really straight eyebrow today. So, like, actually, I encourage you to do this looking forward, not looking to the side, so that you can see the placement. The placement should be underneath the arch, not underneath the tail. That's better. Yeah, that's better for me. Okay. And then that same white powder, just here, if I want a little tiny bit more of a brightness on my cheek. Just a little teeny hack. Use your fingertips blend it in. Cute. Cute. Do you have any freckles or beauty marks that you like to bring back in?
No, I've got no freckles on my face.
No. This is an SPF queen, clearly. Okay, cool. So then, how do you feel about all of this? Do you feel like it set you back? Do you feel like you learned?
No, actually, I don't. I feel the complete opposite. I feel like, especially, my biggest thing coming into this was 100% my under eyes. And I always just found them, I didn't feel like it worked for me, but this one is really, really working for me.
We do mascara, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Mario on the top, and I'm gonna do black, but I am gonna do brown on the bottom.
Okay.
So when I do mascara on other people, like if I'm the makeup artist, my hand is there and I'm doing this on them. But if I do mascara myself, I'm always sort of giving it a little wiggle. For anybody watching, if you find that mascara transfers onto your lid while you're doing your mascara, you're going to want to take a mirror, put it directly under your chin, and then find your eye line and do it that way, because your eyeshadow, your mascara brush position will be very different here than it would be here. So you're basically moving your eyelashes down almost like 50 to 90 degrees by doing it this way. And it allows you to really see underneath and get all those little fine ones. So looking under the chin is a great little hack to stop transfer. And especially on a day like your wedding, if you're doing your own makeup and you've just spent half an hour on your eye makeup, this would be
devastating.
And also, I this kind of happened by accident because I always forget to do this trick, but it is one of my favorite tricks. Is mascara should always be the very, very, very last step, because if you've used powders, blushes, bronzers, powdery products after you've done your eyelashes, loose powder of any form, if it's loose or pressed, will float around the face. So having your mascara go on after all powders are said and done is best, because then you won't have any dusty looking lashes. You'll be getting rid of the dusty lash with your mascara. Do you normally do your mascara right after you do your eye makeup?
No, I always do it last.
Right. How do you stop mascara getting on your eyelid at the lash line? I kind of just said it. So like, you just want to look underneath the chin. You want to look down into a mirror, because it changes the position of your eyelash. If you do, however, get mascara on your lid, I'll show you how to get it off in a second. So just blinking on the wand, or just like pushing it up into the lash from underneath, giving them a wiggle is always nice if you want like a nice coat. And then you can look straight to see where they're falling and where they're sitting, and fan out that way, just with the brush, and, you know, find your stuff. I did get a little bit on my lid, so once it dries, I'll fix it. But I'm going to use brown mascara on the lower lashes. Actually, I'm going to use red mascara on the lower lash just for fun. This is just the one from Benefit. So, are you having like a bridesmaid or someone hold your makeup bag?
What, throughout the day?
Yeah.
My dress has pockets.
Oh,
I know. And they're deep pockets as well, from what I can remember.
I'm so happy for you. That is such an incredible achievement, dress with pockets. All right, so if you've got mascara on your eyelid, lighter color in the middle of the lip, I'd get a lash lift, Kiri, maybe mid. I mean, I think our lashes look amazing. I don't think you need one. I think if you do a lash lift, your eyelashes might touch your eyebrows. I wouldn't do a lash lift personally. So if you've got mascara on your eyelid, you want to just take a spoolie and just gently scratch it off. It feels a little strange, but if the spoolie is soft enough, it's fine. And then you are going to want to just lift the lash back up, because you might have knocked it down. You can use the brush like that, and you could even go back in with a little bit more. So the dry spoolie is the secret to getting off extra mascara from the lid. Are you going to wear highlighter on your day?
Yeah, I think so.
Which one? Powder or cream?
Powder. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
a
Is that,
really old.
is that the Amrezi one? Holy shit.
It's literally 10 years old.
Oh my god, I love it. It's so blinding, that one. Okay, so I have this, which is basically the next thing over. Do you have this palette? It's the best palette, actually. I actually do think you should buy it yourself.
Okay.
This.
Okay.
It's the best highlighter palette on the market.
You didn't have to say much, to be fair.
Have you got a small brush?
How small?
Eyeshadow sized, realistically? Yeah, that's fine.
I wash this.
So that's fine.
How do my chin?
How loose is it? Is it loose? Yeah, that's great. So I'll do the gold to match you, but I'm just going to very, very lightly touch the tip of this so that I've not got loads on the brush. And then I'm just going to smile to find that pop of my cheek. But it depends where you want it. I like my highlighter forward. If you like your highlighter up here, then you're just going to find the point of where the shine naturally is, or where you want the shine to be. So like that's a nice moment. So I'll just enhance that. And then just take a little bit more. And again, if you press super light, the bristles won't impact too much, and then you'll have control. But the reason why this one's so amazing is watch. This pink is everything and more.
Yeah, you were sold when you showed it on screen to
This palette is worth the pink for the pink alone. Like, if you ever want like a dewy, radiant cheek, and it's also really, really gorgeous over the lip, watch. Like, I mean, that's a lot. I wouldn't do that for your big day, but it's just nice to know that you can. The Dior is 36 quid on John Lewis. That's actually not bad. And then what is also really nice is this is gorgeous on your clavicles.
Yes.
And you could take your big brush, for example, and you take all 4 shades. The white one smashed, unfortunately. It is a very delicate palette. And you can prime it into the brush and you can just do like a little overall bronzy glow kind of moment. Also, is your hair going to be back or is it going to be down?
Back.
Okay, Can I see your ears, please? Okay, so please paint your ears. So take a small foundation brush and just cover your jewellery. I'm sure you're not going to wear, I mean, you might be wearing all that. I didn't mean for that to sound patronising, like I was some, it's like, why have you got all that jewellery on? Just get a little bit of what's on your foundation brush into that ear to make the ear not so pink.
It's really red, actually.
It's a fair skin thing. You know, there's I think that, you know, like in the olden days of my youth, when I'd look at like red carpet photographs and people would be like, oh, the hands don't match. The hands don't match the body of the person, the face of the person, because their hands were pink and their face was whatever. And I'm like, the ears are even more important because it's closer to the face.
Yeah.
How do you feel, girl?
I feel good. I feel like it looks really nice. I feel like it looks quite elegant.
You do look very elegant. You do look very elegant. Come closer, give us all a look. What would you do differently?
Or maybe pinker lip?
I actually love that lip.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What do you think about matching the blush to the lip?
I think it's like something that if you're like, you know, I love the way that looks, then you do it. But I think like the lips and the cheeks are different colours already. You know, like your lip is pinker, your cheek is probably more neutral.
Yeah.
So yeah. You look great.
I get what you mean. But I really like it. I think it looks really nice.
I mean, the point of this was really to be like, I think that your biggest takeaway was the under eye concealer, perhaps.
And just the application of it. Just the application of it all.
Yeah.
Doing the less is more instead of the more is more. Because I think that's what, especially when you're looking at other people do their own bridal makeup, they always say put more on because you need more on. But I don't think you actually do you?
Well, you don't, because there's a few factors here. Your eyelashes are creating more of a shadow when they're painted. Your positioning of your head is always going to change. Like, I look like I've got no eyeshadow on when I do this, but when I do this, you can see that I've got on a little bit of eyeshadow. Like, it's the shadows get darker depending on what you're doing with your face. And also, if there's a heck load of shadows in the sky that day, like a friend of mine once, when I don't do weddings typically for clients. I'll do like a friend here and there, but they asked me to be a bridesmaid, and I was like, I would love to be a bridesmaid, and of course I'll do your makeup if you want me to. And so did her makeup, but she had these massive eyelashes put on from an extension eyelash person. They created the heaviest shadows under her eyes that literally not even the most full coverage concealer was bouncing it out, because the sun that day was right above her head and it was creating this heavy shadow under her eyes, and the eyelashes were enhancing it. And so fake eyelashes on a wedding day, in my opinion, is a real risky telly.
Oh, really? Yeah, I put on clusters.
Are you doing them on the day?
I was thinking of doing it on the day, yeah.
Come closer. I mean, I don't think you need it, but you do it if you want it. I think your eyelashes are gorgeous.
Thank you.
I mean, maybe actually, if you've never tried a lash lift, maybe then if you do want that little bit more oomph in the lash, maybe you do a lash lift, but like 3 weeks before.
I do love. Oh, why 3 weeks before?
Just so that it drops a little bit. Yeah, you don't want them like that. I think you want them to still be. But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do lash clusters just in case. Like, I think it's another thing to be thinking about. Like, you know, oh, what if there's a line? What if there's a gap in photographs? Or what if one of them fell off?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it won't. Yeah. I'm sure you've got it. And also, do you like? Don't let me deter you from it. But like, I would say your lashes are impressive enough on their own.
Oh, okay, it's interesting. Because I feel like it would just stress me out more doing the lashes, because the lashes, they're a stressful part.
Yeah. I mean, people are asking about lashes now. I don't want people to feel like I'm like dissing lashes for big days. I think a lash is fine for a big day. I think it's just got to be done so delicately and like almost like the most natural option from any shop that's a possibility.
It took me half an hour to put on 6 cluster lashes the other day.
They're tricky. I mean, have you been looking down into a mirror and going above, or are you going under? Which ones are you doing?
Mascara on, lashes like that, and it takes me ages because it's just I want them to be very, 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 very perfect.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't think you need it. I think if you do a lash tint and a lash lift a couple of weeks before, Katie, do I use setting spray? I don't use setting spray, but I'm not anti it. If somebody wants to use it, I just don't need it. I don't use it for me and I don't use it on my clients. But if somebody's like, I love setting spray, it makes me feel locked in, then do it. But I think setting spray can be avoided if you are properly prepped. If your skin prep is not overly drenched, you don't really need a setting spray. But everyone's different.
Fixing spray.
I mean, what's the bloody difference, though?
Well, I thought that, but I've got my Kryolan, the hairspray, the one that smells like hairspray.
The one in the can.
Yeah, that locks me in tight.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely like, that's something that I would use, like, you know, on Broadway. If I was doing someone's makeup for Broadway, or, you know, I typically don't use fixing sprays on any of my clients that maybe dance around on stage for hours. I just do minimal skincare and concealer and powder, and that's it. And then we powder and blot between outfit changes, because that's all there's time for. But I don't use them. But I think if you feel like you need it, we don't need setting spray on stage. We just let it melt, and it also kind of looks hot because she's dancing around, and it's like sexy because she's sweaty. Does anybody have any other questions, or do you have any other questions?
No, I don't think I do. I feel a lot more confident with it now. I think, you know, after you do a few tests and it's like shit, you're like,
you've totally got it down. You know already what you're doing. I think your versions have totally been even more impressive than the makeup that you've just done on yourself under your guidance with me, because you know your face better, you know what products work well for you, you know what your routine is. So I wouldn't stray a heck of a lot from your routine. I would just use a few things today that you were like, aha,
yes,
into your maybe routine, and start incorporating them to get yourself to that refined. Somebody just said I'm disappointed by the Hydro Group tint. It's one of my favorite skin tints. Tell me what you don't like about it. Maybe I can help you with it. Eyeliner. Don't you use a lash curler? You don't use a lash curler because you don't feel like you need one, right?
Yeah. I feel like I can, by doing it in layers, I can get them to be lifted to a level that I like.
Well, you look bloody good, love. You look bloody gorgeous.
Well, you do as well, but you're the makeup artist here.
Thanks, love. All right, so hopefully this is easy to save and I can figure out how to keep it live on.
I will try to.
Live. All right. Any final questions?
No, I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. This was so fun. And I hope that, if anything, it gave you, like you said, more encouragement that you're already actually where you need to be.
Yeah, it did